plant procurement management, a first process of project procurement management, a planning process of project procurement management. And as usual, this process will tell us how are we going to conduct remaining processes in a project procurement management. How are we going to conduct, control and close procurement. Now there is a slight difference. Along with how this process also tells us the statement of work related to procurement or a outsourcing project. So it also gives us procurement statement of work. So we can consider this process as giving a plan and giving a slice of work or identifying a slice of work which can be outsourced. So accordingly we have inputs. So let's look at inputs. We need to take project management plan in consideration. Primarily to look at scope baselines, WBS, which is part of scope baseline and WBS dictionaries. We also need to look at schedule and cost baselines. Though schedule and cost related, some of the activities are also mentioned as an independent input because it might be possible at this particular stage all these things are not yet baselined. Since we are talking about scope, we need to extract the slice of work which we can outsource. We also need to look at requirement documentations. So the second input for this process is requirement documentation. Now something about risks. We lot of time end up procuring, remember, transfer strategy of risk. So we need to look at risk register in order to identify where all the transfer strategy can work and also identify what kind of risk there could be if we get this work done from outside. So third input for this is risk register. Let's talk about time related things. So we need to know activity resource requirement, activity cost estimate and project schedule. Activity resource estimate, project schedule. Now you may think that why do we need it? While planning a procurement, we also need to know or conduct make or buy decision. And activity resource estimate, activity cost estimate or activity resource requirement project schedule gives us information about making it. So we need these input. Activity resource requirement is the right term rather than estimate. Now we cannot avoid stakeholders because they may welcome the procurement and they may object the procurement of some of the work packages. So we need to look at stakeholder register. Now we are taking this stakeholder register so that we can meet the respective stakeholder, get the view on our procurement management plan and procurement statement of work, which is kind of a primary output of this process. The enterprise environmental factor and organization process assets. Enterprise environmental factor will tells us what kind of surrounding atmosphere we are operating in. Is it okay to procure something of this type from outside? What kind of market rate or a labor environment is in environment? Organization process assets. Now in PMBOK, the contract types are discussed in organization process assets only. Organization process assets gives us templates, procedures and recommendations, and we get an information where to apply which type of contract. So three primary type of contracts are used or described in PMBOK, and the final recommendations are coming from organization process asset. So what do we do with all these inputs? Looking at, there are not many tools and techniques. Considering the number of inputs, we have only 4 tools and techniques. The first thing, or a primary thing which we do in plant procurement management, is we do make and buy analysis. Now, in general, we need to identify what makes sense to build inside and what needs to be procured from the external world. Now, while attempting an exam, you may not get the background information related to make and buy, because a lot of time we don't make or buy decision just on the basis of economic considerations. Sometimes we also factor in risk, intellectual property right, competitors' threat, various factors before we say that this can be procured from outside, even if it makes the economical decision. But for an exam, you just use numbers as a guiding factor to tell you which should be or what should be made in-house and what should be procured from outside. While you are doing this make or buy analysis, do remember you need to consider all possible costs. Costs related to support, costs related to future enhancements, lifetime cost, as many details are given, you need to consider them all. So first analysis is make or buy analysis. Now make or buy analysis is all about identifying the WBS elements which could be procured from outside, or where procuring from outside make economical sense. Now, while applying or doing all these techniques, we need to apply expert judgment, because this process requires experts' intelligence and judgment, and they may provide these judgments in various meetings. So meetings and expert judgment is part of tool and techniques, because we may also need to meet stakeholders. We may need to put an expert judgment on a cost and schedule or a risk register input before we identify what could be bought. So the other tools and techniques for this is expert judgment and meeting. We have one more tool and technique which is talking about market research. Now this market research is talking about, look at the environment, use this enterprise environmental factor and identify what kind of things can be made easily from outside and what kind of things or what kind of work should be done in-house. Also find out some rate, some economical details, some possible companies who can perform these type of work. Also identify which type of bid, which type of procurement documents are in use. So we apply all these 4 tools and techniques and generate procurement management plan and procurement statement of work. We tell these are the procurement documents should be used, this is how you should be conducting your procurement, and govern a guideline for governing the complete procurement process. So let us look at the outputs. The first is procurement management plan. In general, I always talk about that plan tells us how are we going to execute rest of the processes. So here we have a conduct procurement, control procurement, and close procurement. So this plan should tell us how should we perform all these three. In case of conduct, it tells us how to invite sellers, how to select sellers, what type of contract should be used, what should be the format of documents or a procurement documents used, how the risk should be managed. All other guidelining factor should be covered, and the procurement management plan should give us the guidelines. While controlling, it should tell us how are we going to conduct review of procurement progress, at what frequency we should comply, consolidate or compile the performance reporting information. How should we do change management of a procurement contract? So if we have given a contract to someone, if we want to modify a few things, how should we proceed for that particular change should be defined in our procurement management plan. So how should we do a change management? Closing, some steps, what all should be cleared, what all claims and payments should be closed before we close it. So how should we close it? What all documents should be prepared? What kind of sign-off we should be given, we should be taking or exchanging with our supplier should be documented here. How are you going to manage payments should be also explained in a control part of project procurement management plan. Now the other output which is equally important is procurement statement of work. Now procurement statement of work is, you can visualize a group of statements, a group of scope statements which can trigger a contract. So you may have 3-4 procurement statement of work and each would be triggering a respective project or a respective contract. So you may analyze your work breakdown structure while applying this tool and technique, while doing make or buy decisions, and out of this make or buy decision you found out that okay, these are the 2 WBS elements which needs to be outsourced or procured from outside, or for completing this particular WBS element I also need a support from a supplier or from outside. So it is possible that you may outsource the complete WBS, or it is also possible that in a given WBS you identify a role for another party to play. On the basis of this you create statement of work, and this statement of work should be as detailed as possible, should have clear completion criteria, should give enough detail about measuring performance as well as progress. Now as an output of this, you can visualize that as a project manager or as a centralized project management team, you people are agreeing to outsource or take a help from vendor for a selective work. And this all work, a different statement of work are coming from procurement statement of work. Third input, procurement documents. Now, there are various types of documents which can be used for procurement. Few people use and various terms are used. It depends upon your enterprise environmental factor which one suits to you. But some of the example like request for proposal, request for information, invitation for bid, request for quotation, tender, etc. can be used for inviting the people to quote for given procurement statement of work. So as an output of this plan procurement process, we recommend which all documents should be used, what kind of detail they should cover, and we may recommend some templates which should be used for these documents. So while executing or while conducting the procurement, you should look to this section of procurement management plan and use the relevant procurement document. Now another, source selection criteria. You did make or buy analysis, you did market research, and from market research you found out what kind of vendors are available for a given service. As an output, you may want to tell the second process, which would be a conduct procurement, that what type of vendors are eligible for quoting or doing this procurement work. So a source selection criteria is all about that. Now, till now we do not have any vendor in mind, but we are talking about generic guidelines. Say for example, we may say size of a company. Now size can be looked at in the term of financial strength, a turnover, people strength, geographical spread. So they all could be a different criteria. For example, my organization may have a policy that we only want to work with those vendors who are local. So that becomes a source selection criteria. Technical capability. So technical capability could be used while evaluating the vendors. So these source selection criteria would be used while we conduct procurement. Here we are recommending that these are the set of criteria at a broad level you should be using while evaluating the vendors. Support or SLAs for support could be used as a criteria. Past performance. If you have been working with those vendors before, how they were delivering their commitments could be used as a criteria. Risk factors. How risky this vendor is. Will he be able to sustain for another 10 years? So we may use a risk assessment. For example, we are a big company and whenever we produce a project, the product run for at least 10 years. So the company we are procuring from should be able to sustain or support their part of work for next 10 years. So we may do a risk assessment. So these kind of criteria are used in order to identify or recommend during conduct procurement. What else? We make or buy decision. we did an analysis, and as an output of procurement management plan, in a way procurement statement of work is also considering that decision is like a product of make or buy decision. But yes, as an output of this process, we do make or buy decision. Now there is a change. Till now we were getting change request in monitoring and control, and sometime in executing process group processes. This is the process in a planning process group which can result in change request. Yes, because on the basis of make or buy decision, we may recommend doing few things outside. So those changes need to be managed or reflected in the baselines. So this process may also generate in change request. It may also update some of the project document. So we may update project documents get updated. What kind of? Yeah, we may updating the risk register because we did this much analysis. We might have identified a new risk or did some assessment, or maybe we want to tell that for this particular risk we are going to procure something from outside. So if we want to give that information, we need to update the risk register. We may also update requirement traceability matrix, RTM, because we need to tell, okay, this was our customer requirement, this was planned before in this WBS, now it is also get linked with the procurement statement of work which will get procured from outside. Similarly, we may update the requirement documentation just to reflect the analysis which we have done in this particular process. So unlike other planning processes, this process also tells us what all work can be procured from outside.